Evening guys, how are we all? Evening guys, how are we all? So, the plan for this evening is to, basically the title's called How Hard Is It to Place Your Blueprints? So I thought what I'd do, I'd download all my blueprints myself, my ones should I say. So here we all are. We've got a few duplications because I thought I'd just download everything. And what I'm going to attempt to do is place them all and see how hard it is, because what I didn't used to do when I used to do my blueprints was put any labels down to how to do the path, terrain and so forth. So I thought we'd have a little bit of a laugh and see what was what. So my first ever blueprint was all gone wrong. So let's see how this goes when it wants to load. There we go, finally. So, where are we? Just thought we'd do this for a laugh. We've had a few people excuse me, not moan, but give negative ratings because of how hard some of my stuff is to place from the beginning. And as you can see here, there's a lot of floating trees and so forth. So, yeah, I can see their frustration. So that's number one. This was my first ever blueprint, or first ever build, actually, on the game. So this was done literally about 2 years ago now. Yeah, that was a fun evening. One thing I always do say about my pathing or paving is always start from the entrances. So, but this one's a little bit different. You kind of follow the pattern of the lampposts more than anything. So, yeah, not great, but hey, is what it is. You learn. As I always say to people, practice, practice, practice. So that wasn't too bad. Not too bad. But what we then have is the terrain issues. So I can only apologise to everybody for how that has been. So yeah, there's a lot of terrain to do on this one. As you can see, even this truck is dug down, should we say. So yeah, when I built this, I didn't know much about the game, didn't know the game dynamics, didn't really know much about it at all. As you can see, I've just got loads of floating bushes. These are actually sunken up to the camp up here. Yeah, you don't realise until you play the game how to do things much better. So, evening guys. Hi Bandit, Mr. Wolf, how are you? Just in case you don't know, all I'm doing this evening is just having a play with my own blueprints that I've made over the years, just seeing how difficult and how hard it is to place them. Things you do and don't realise, obviously, when you start playing the game, how it is for other people when you upload things. So just thought we'd see how that works. One thing I've never done. So just fancied the live stream. Thought I'd say hi to a few guys. And hi Mark, hello from the Netherlands. Pleasure, sir. If you watch your Formula 1, I bet you're wishing Max all the best for the next 3 weekends. I know my partner likes the Red Bull team. And Max in particular, but we won't go there. I'm very much a Lewis Hamilton fan, always have been, always will be, but only for one reason, and that is the reason for his track ability. No other reason, just for the record. Anyway, we won't get on that pedestal. So yeah, this is a bit more difficult than I thought. So, yeah. Yeah, you probably will need it, unfortunately, with the way the Red Bull is at the minute. But then at the same time, keeping it on the track and so forth, I thought he would have done better in the last Grand Prix. It was such a shame, really. But it's the nature of the sport, and for those avid Formula 1 fans out there, it's why we love it. After all the processions of just following in a queue and so forth, I've always loved the sport myself. So yeah, this isn't the easiest blueprint to do, guys, to be honest with you. I should have thought about this a bit more, but like I said, this was my first ever build and first ever blueprint, so my first upload, should we say. You learn things as you go. You figure out what people mean when they say you can't do this, can't do that. It's, you know, that's not right, this ain't right, and so forth. So again, practice, 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 practice makes perfect. Definitely a bit chillier tonight, guys. Ooh, love this game. No, really? Look at all this. Crikey. So much. So what's going on in everybody's world today then? Not much. Room. Good down here. Sure that, yeah, there was a car. Funny what you remember. Hey Chris, how are you, sir? Had a good day? We're going down. Living camera views. No, no good day. Yeah, kind of the same for me, to be honest. Well, I don't know. I'm hoping today brings a good day tomorrow, if you know what I mean. So we'll see what happens. Well, I've kind of thought it's kind of like the title says. Basically, I'm placing all my blueprints, so just to see how difficult it is to place them. Because when I originally started uploading them, when I first started playing the game, I didn't put any directions. I didn't think about terrain and stuff like that. So I thought, let's just have a little stream and a little play, and people might pick up some things along the way. Really, kind of all it was. And have a little ride, show you around how far I've come over the years as well, in respect of my building ability and so on. Yeah, kind of what tonight's all about really, just a little play, enjoy the game, reminisce with some builds, yeah, just enjoy it really, chill out. So I think we're there with that now, so a little ride and just see how that goes. So where are we? There we are. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoy. It's a bit of a ripper, must admit. Hey, buddy. You alright? Come on this side, dude. Good boy. Hey, buddy. Molly. So yeah, that was my first ever blueprint. All gone wrong, it called. Really, it was kind of like a, I don't know what you really want to do. It was like a police chase style thing. Did have a car there, but that's disappeared. So yeah, good little coaster. Looks good at night time. Probably a little bit too bright, but works well. So another little ride. That's number one. Do have quite a few to go through tonight, guys. What else do we have? So number two was where's it gone? Where has it gone? It was this little beastie. Or should I say big beastie? So trying to remember how. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was like that. No, it was. I can't quite remember now. Pretty sure that was level with the ground. So yeah, a little bit of a, this was my second ever build, this one. Yeah, it was alright. To be fair, most of it was through tunnels and so forth, and I really don't want to do that today. So, it's just funny how it all got lights. Do have a POV of this, I think, on the build videos from about a year ago. If anybody wants to see it, it's how it should be. That's everything. So I'll have a little ride. Hey Eden, how are you? Hope you've had a good day. So yeah, that was my second ever coaster build. Quite cool. Yeah, I had a busy day at work. Always busy at work. But yeah, pays the bills. Very cold tonight, must admit. Anyway, let's move on from that. So, yep, second ever blueprint and second ever coaster build, so yeah, quite interesting looking back on them. And then we had so many. Cancel. Delete blueprint. Oh, unsubscribe, idiot. Anyway, what do we have next? Then we had. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put them down. What have I done here? Oh golly. No wonder no one's downloaded it. Huh. What was I doing? What's going on here? What? Oh, I'll forget that one then. Download missing toolkit. Cancel. Oh, good blimey. What was I doing? Yeah, there's a lot of blueprints even. I'm just kind of going back through what I've done over the years, really. Just trying to get them to just sit. Can't even do that. What's going on here? No wonder no one downloaded them. Oh, forget that one. This one will work. This one's pretty neat. I like this. good. It's kind of designed for a nighttime look more than anything. Yeah. This is actually from the Project Pier one, but it's a bit bright, if I'm perfectly honest. Did a few too many lights inside. Where is it? Where are they all? Tons of lights all the way down here. Probably could have done with spacing them out a bit more, to be honest. But yeah, it looks really cool. And it worked well on the pier. That was the whole point of it, really, just to give it that kind of look as if you're at Brighton or Blackpool or somewhere like that. So yeah, I like that one. What else do we have? Got loads. Really? Oh, why did I do that? Not good. Sorry guys. Tower and disco, yeah, probably. Yeah, you could say that. Stick some disco music on, or whatever, don't. Can't believe I've done this. Why did I do this? I downloaded everything. This is the Theme Maker's Toolkit for you, it's a pain. Ah, here we go. There it is. So what we got, here we are. So this was for a competition. Not too long ago, this actually, about a month and a half, 2 months ago. It was a rush build. Didn't really spend a huge amount of time. I was back in work when just after I entered this competition. Hey home bunner, how are you? And yeah, a little bit of a rush build, this one, more than anything. But came out quite nice. Did a few too many fairy lights, to be perfectly honest. But it does look good at night time. You don't really get the full effect. Not huge, no huge inspiration anywhere. I'll probably say videos I've seen of Phantasialand, the plaza there, but I thought instead of doing it square, I'd do it round. But these buildings were built in hours. I mean, I just threw these together and stuck as much stuff as I could on to make the piece count up, because we had to have a minimum, I think it was of 3,000 pieces on a flat ride blueprint. And I was just so mentally drained, I didn't know what to do, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do chair plane, make it look like something out of Thunderland, and just give it different levels. I like the fountains, they work really well. And it's called Musical Lights, I think, or something like that. But the soundtrack works really well on it. And I can imagine this being in an actual park with trees all around it and rides in the background would work pretty well. But more of a nighttime style. So I thought that looked really cool, going past the buildings all lit up. Quite atmospheric, looks nicely. But I think there's just too many lights on that queue line. But again, everyone to their own. I like the way it turned out. Music suits it really well. And again, could quite easily put into somebody's park that they're building if they wish to, and give it another dimension to whatever they're looking to do, really. But it come out pretty good. So yeah, I can't remember how many piece count that was. I think it was 3,000 or 2,000. Oh no, over 3,000 we had to have. So lighting's on point. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I do like my lighting, and you'll see that in a little while. This was awesome. Oh, come on. Can't believe this. Sorry guys, I thought I downloaded everything before. So I've got to download everything. So this one I'm about to load was my first ever steampunk try, should we say. That kind of feel and look and so forth. And the only inspiration I had really for steampunk was watching Wix from the Nexus crew doing the Blackmire Park. it's still not finished. But when you watch him build that, it's just the intricate details in how that you do everything is just great. And he really enjoyed this on the contest, and I think a lot of other people did as well. This was my second entry to the contest, so the last one I did was the fairy lights just now. Yes, there is a load of double blueprints, because what I did about an hour ago, I downloaded everything because I set up my new PC a few weeks back, so I lost a load of stuff off it. So I thought, to make sure I had all my blueprints, I thought I would download them or subscribe to them, and lo and behold, there's a lot of double blueprints. So yeah, I'll have to remove them all, should we say. Evening guys, up to 7 viewers now. Thank you for joining me, it's appreciated. Hope you're all well and keeping safe in these strange times that we're going through now. Hey, here we go. So the point to this part of the contest was to basically design a shop plaza. I kind of, again, was a little bit rushed. I just started back at work, and I thought I had the time to do it. But as we all know, this game does take a lot of time up. So basically I just did a generic walkthrough, or you could basically have this as a, what do you call it, an entry with a lake behind, for instance. You know, you could have it literally, don't hide me, delete. You know, you could round this off here, for instance, and just dig a little bit out like that. Just blend it round a bit. Oh, bring that back a tad. And then just dump some water in there, lo and behold, and then just round that off a little bit. And again, I was limited to 4,000 piece count on this particular blueprint. Yeah, I have to, see, I'm quite lucky at work. We are allowed to be open because our business is van rental, which is, believe it or not, covered under allowed to work at the moment. So, which is a good thing. It's a good thing for all of us. We're kind of isolated upstairs, and yeah, have to wear a mask pretty much all day. It can be annoying, but it is what it is, and it's the times are what the times are at the minute. So anyway, enough of that. We're talking about planco. But yeah, so what I mean by intricate details in this is just all the pipe work and so forth. The brackets holding the pipes on. I didn't do them throughout because I ran out of piece count. To be honest with you, I literally hit 4,000 pieces. So for instance, little bits like this top section isn't finished off. I could have done a bit more up here. Yeah, I really enjoyed the way this turned out. The only thing is I got this cog. Was it this one? Yeah, it was this cog the wrong way around.
No.
So yeah, there we go, sorted. I love the way this roof came together. That worked out really, really well. And again, these are just basic shapes. These pieces here. These are Hydro Theme Maker Toolkit beams. And if it wasn't for Hydro, we wouldn't have this style of building, because standard beams in the game are, I think, they're twice the width, just the standard pillars. So yeah. You could do it with other things. I mean, there are little bits and bobs that you could use, but at night time this looks really nice. So there we go. Such a shame the lighting doesn't come up in the reflections. It really, really is, because that would look wicked. But yeah, I went for a generic kind of just dark tone look to it, which worked out well. This wicked actually, with the disco tower in the background. But everything was themed, everything was coloured, all finished nicely. You've even got brackets where they go in. Toilets, obviously. There's a couple of bits that I missed. These lights down here, they're white, so I forgot to change the colours. But it's like this wall here is a bit bland, there's not much on it. And then just in here we got the staff room, disabled chairs, just did the heart for a joke really. Coca-Cola machine, bits and bobs. I didn't do what everybody else did in the contest. They did like real shops with, you know, merchandise to buy, bits and bobs and stuff. It looked quite nice, but again, that was the whole point to a contest, and we could have different views, different builds, different everything, and the variety of it was phenomenal. But unfortunately my lifestyle had changed, and I can't put 5 to 6 hours of build time a day. I love the way that looked. The lighting there, just I got that spot on. But yeah, these are all self-built. These are just crazy piece count. Can't remember what they were now. 156 objects just for that. I mean, the umbrella is one piece, but this is, yeah. Because obviously if you try and do a blueprint with benches and stuff, it doesn't save the benches. So then when they place them in the contest, you've got umbrellas but with no benches. So had to kind of make your own, which worked out good in the end. A lot of people enjoyed that. I enjoyed building it actually in the end. It was just such a shame we were limited to 4,000 pieces, because it kind of spoiled the look of it, because what I wanted to do was have this end as well, but by the time I did that and that end, I had about 500 pieces left. So yeah, it wouldn't have enabled me to do all this great pipe work, steam, bits and bobs. You know, the thing that I tried to do was make it look pretty realistic and actually have all the cogs connected to something. So you've got the wheel turning here, which turns that one, and they're all turning in the correct direction, apart from that one I changed earlier. Okay, maybe that's a little bit out, but it was a rush build. The real cool thing is we got the, I think it's off the Western Back to the Future pack detail there. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed building this, it was nice. Yeah. So, what else do we have? Let's do my... Actually, hold on a minute. 1, 2... Yeah, first... Or was that my first? I think that might have been my first, and this was my second. So this is what I wanted to show you guys the other night. So, apologies, I'm just downloading the toolkit again. I'm just going to have a bite of cheesecake. Excuse me a moment. Have a good evening, Eden. Enjoy dinner. Sorry if you heard any of that, guys. Here we go. So this was a fun build, this. I enjoyed building this. So all these are available on the workshop, by the way, guys. Obviously if you're PC users. But where are we? Excuse me, that's mine. Marley. Marley. Make good choices. There we go. So this was again done for the Nexus competition. Thoroughly enjoyed making this. This was good fun. And one thing the guys didn't quite get was the cars out front were done in the nationality flags of the two main presenters. So you got Wix is Danish, so I did red and white, and Pretzel's British or English or however you want to take it, but I went with British to be kind of level playing on that one, so I went red, white and blue, but no one noticed. So again, Marley, don't attack me. Marley, Marley, that's my cheesecake, not your cheesecake, mister. Marley, make good choices. Marley, don't give me that look. I'm talking to people here. Right. So yeah, we got a couple of water bursts coming out here. One thing they said we weren't allowed to do was change the terrain. So basically they could just place the blueprint, done, put some paving in and so forth. So this could have looked a bit better, if you know what I mean, with how that I did this section. I did want to do it like step down and so forth, but couldn't work it out. Sorry, Drago? Yo, Rora, you know Da Vinci style games? No, I don't. Sorry. So yeah, that could have looked a little bit better. And to be fair, I was finishing this with hours to go. Not hours to go. I had to do it in a few hours basically to finish it off. So it was kind of like, what can I do? This is why this isn't so tidy. This could have been a bit more finished, polished. Should we say, Marley, stop it. Come on. I do like the way this turned out. This came out quite nice. But yeah, really, really cool. The idea behind it was we had to do an entrance plaza. So I thought instead of doing an entrance plaza that's quite generic, samey, you know, turnstiles, so forth, I thought, what can I do that's a little bit different? So I thought about unique architecture, so something like from Dubai or something like that, you know, like a big round thing or tree or whatever. And then I was just perusing on Facebook, been to Florida a few times, and I'd always driven past this building and it popped up on Facebook, and I thought to myself, well, why don't I try and replicate that in some way or another? So the way I did this basically was, this was one entire piece if I remember correctly. It's changed a bit now, but I basically built this all level up the right way. So did everything I could, no gridded pieces, just all single pieces, or movable pieces should we say, and then basically flipped it to the angle it is now. So everything literally as you see it was placed the other way up, apart from this top section here, but the steps, everything like that was placed. The roof was built to a degree. You'll just see around the edges there's little bits of roof and so forth. Just here, so didn't need to be that polished there, but it just gave it a little bit of a look. You can see there's a gap there, so there's little bits that were missed, but the best thing about this is when you walk inside, it just looks great. And at night time it looks even better, but here you go. You ready, guys? So everything is upside down. Quite a head mess, if that's the correct language to use, because you literally think your camera's caught, and it's only when you get glimpses of what's on the floor and the ticket info and so forth that you realise that actually you're the right way up. So the effect on that is pretty cool. But you got all sorts on here, so you got little bowls, all the pictures I've just pinched off the game really and turned them upside down. Is it gramophone? I can't remember. But yeah, all the plants, so all the decor just worked really, really well. It's like the lights, they look like they're the right way up, but actually, you know, they're the right way down. Didn't know what to do with the chandelier, but I thought I'll kind of do it as though a bird flying through the building. I love this game. But I thought I'd just stick it in with kind of like a architrave round it and just kind of glass it off really. And then these in the actual building theming side of things, they get you to like lay on a bed of nails, and there's loads of interactive stuff to do, and obviously in this game you can't really do that, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it as like a photo opportunity. So you got Mickey's two-town car there, and then you got Lightning McQueen here, and but all the pictures are upside down, so it just works so well. Pictures, sofas, planters, pots, all sorts. Just, yeah, there could have been more detail. If I'd have had a bit more time, I would have downloaded some images of, you know, bits and bobs and chopped them in there. And then I thought, how can I make it look as though it's enclosing? So I basically just angled the ceiling down, I could have probably put the wallpaper at a slightly different angle, but then I thought I'd just be a bit crazy, stick some electricity in there and stuff, because that's what they have. So the static kind of balls and stuff work really well. And then we kind of got the entrance as we come round. A couple of bits I missed, or one bit should I say, with a beam here and a beam there. I didn't line them up right. That was fun to stick some pictures up, kind of cover the walls up, make it a little bit more detailed. And then you'd be into the entrance of whatever park you wanted to use it for. And like we were seeing a minute ago, that glazing just looks wicked. The fact that you can just change the colour of it and it just gives it that reflection, it just looks great. But it's the angles that you see this from as well. It just looks really, really cool. But again, everyone to their own. You know, I would review other people's work, but I don't want to judge other people's work. I like to judge mine, because I judge the feedback of what I get in the reviews. Let's just go to night mode, because it looks pretty good in that. There we go. And from an interior perspective, but I love the way like the street lamps light up the exterior of the building. Just looks so cool. This way the fire reflects on the floor, and the fact that the flames are going down is just perfect. Again, another glitch with the game, but it just works. It just looks so real. And the reflections, the lights on the floor, the marble floor, just, yeah, it's great. Like the lighting as well, it's just a subtle effect. You've got your bins and your benches again. I pinched the benches from the, what should we call it, Steampunk build. I just amended them a little bit. But yeah, I just thought I'd put some colour in there to go with the glass. And again, Marley! Where are we? And then just a couple of other bits on this one, guys. And you can see the water mains just bursting out water here. And that kind of coincides with water splashes, you know, there. Really, I should have had another one here, but basically it's just water mains going into the building, just giving it another effect. I did want to do ponds and stuff, but with the restriction on the terrain, just didn't really, couldn't really figure out how to do it. So, what's next? Let's go with... oh, I don't know. Go with that. Has the Dutch planet used YouTube record? Oh, check them out, Dragor. I haven't come across them before, but I'll have a look. Thank you for the recommendation, sir. Hey, buddy. Sorry guys, just a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for some bits to download. Hey, buddy. You gonna say hello?
Say hello. Are you gonna say hello?
Wow. I think we'll make it before bedtime, Marley. But then if I remember correctly, there was a lot of blueprint theme maker toolkit in this one. Yes, there was, mate. That must be it, surely. Come on. Sorry for the delay, guys. Bit of a pain when this happens. The only reason why this does happen is because I empty my toolkit subscriptions every now and then, because it massively downrates your FPS even if you don't use them. If you have them stored on your computer, every time you open the menu, it literally takes ages to load. So best not to have it on your computer all the time, but when you do stuff like this, it can be a bit of a pain in the backside. So my apologies. It will catch up with itself eventually. But if anyone has any questions about anything, about how I build, what I do, what you're interested in, what you're not, what you've been up to for the day, or something like that, anything. I haven't watched any news today, which is quite nice. Had a day off it. Not to think about all the bad things in the world right now. Hey Marley Moo, what you doing? Oh my golly gays, what is going on? Why is this taking so long, Molly? Taking its time, isn't it, mate? Wow. Apologies guys, this is what you get when you use Theme Maker's Toolkit. Oh, here we are, finally. Now that everybody's left. Typical. Right, so X that up, and if I remember rightly, where's the floor gone? Oh no, everything's loaded yet. And this is what you get when you have old hard drives. Apologies guys. Takes an age to load everything. May have a quick computer, but my hard drives and so forth still need upgrading. So, as I said in the last few live streams, we all get there one day. There we go. So this was really neat actually. I did this for last year's, what do we call it? Halloween special for the Nexus group. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, this is how when you develop your style of building, you start to realise that actually simple things can work in your favour, just like this paving. And you pick up things along the way, like I've always said. But you know, we all build a little bit differently, we all design things differently. But this came out quite easy. I think that works, doesn't it? Yes, it does. actually, that works really, really well. Perfect. So that one looks good. Select grid. So yeah, it's, you know, this is how long this game can take. Which is, yeah, it is what it is. But the time and effort when you eventually get there is so worth it most of the time, I think. But anyway, that's a bit of a pain. So here we are. This was my spooky entrance plaza that I did last year. Obviously daytime looks okay, but it's more about the nighttime look. Really enjoyed building this and loved how it turned out. Got a little spooky well here. But again, just little bits about how you can make things look so much better. So just terrain, you know, terrain is one of your friends, it really, really is. So grab a bit of rock, smaller it up, and just bring it in. That's not the right colour rock to be having. You can just see how it just transforms just pieces that are dropped, you know. People say how you blend things so well. Well, you know, just put a little bit of texture down and it blends itself. You don't really have to do much. You know, just there. And as you come in, you may not notice it, but it's just another effect that the game gives off that just, you know, simple. It's great. So like all this is green under here, just rock it out. Blends in with the path a bit better. A little bit more. Done. It just is so much better. Anyway, I'll show up with the advice. If anyone asks, let me know. Hey Parrot, how are you? You all good? Don't. Where are we? There we are. So, yeah. I love this. First time I used the Ghostbusters cloud. Had a little play with lighting and so forth, but it just really, really worked. Extremely well. It's just like with the fireflies, just having different coloured fireflies just gives it another spectrum. Another look, sorry. Having the skeletons in the right position. You know, I think there's 2 skeletons there. Just turn the other one off and then you've got fixed legs and it just looks like the body's moving. A few spiders. It's how you position things as well. So, like with the arm, that took ages to get that so that it didn't really clip anything. So like the bird's going for the arm and the arm's going for the bird. There's only 2 simple animatronics in the game, but just trying to get those to fit and work and look right as if it looks real was pretty tough. And again, just lining up the bird's feet and stuff on here, just making sure everything works right. This one's pretty cool. But again, I don't like... So this is the Theme Maker's Toolkit, this wobbly mud. So I kind of thought I'd blend it together, which I shouldn't have done. I should have used one and put that one there and put him there and then him coming out the fixed one. But oh, cool dude, working on your Christmas part. I just can't get into building at the minute, so I thought I'd go through all my old blueprints, see how difficult they are to put down, and to be fair, it's just turned into looking around and seeing how it all works. I love this head. I think this head's great. How did it turns with you? Really, really cool. And again, you got the books up the top moving, bookshelf falling out, cobwebs everywhere, pictures, again, clock. I think in here, if I remember rightly, you got the head from the Haunted Mansion rides at Disney. You got a hotel here, and I also put, it's mad, isn't it? I put so much in it. You got like a shadow theme maker toolkit again, but it's little bits like that, but people slightly miss when they look around them. These are quite cool. You got pumpkin head looking like a witch, and just in here, I think every 3 seconds or so, the thing pops up. People actually get scared when I had people walking around it. It's quite funny, as they come past, they kind of put their hands up, and yeah. And we've got Dracula up here with the screen behind. No one's noticed these either, Grim Reapers if you want to call them, I'm not sure. But I think this side I've got him coming out, and then the other side I think we've got a mummy walking back and forth. And up top we've got the witch going around the centre. Sparks going everywhere. I'm really impressed with the lighting on this one though. I did it really, really discreetly, in a way. Discreetly is the one word probably. But just with these, they look good. Love the colourings. The pumpkin heads make such good colouring, with a bit of purple and reds. I love the neon strip going around the building as well. And then it was just shops here really. It was kind of like a main shopping area. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I'd just do a spooky entrance instead of a ride or something at the time. And then you got these kind of like skull-like window look kind of things going on. And what the inspiration actually for the park, I can't remember who did these theme maker toolkits, but I saw them, and that was kind of the look I went, not with the park, with the build, should I say. But this one's really cool as well, so we've got skeleton arms coming out of fire and stuff. Skulls, everything, and then we've got him just jumping out kind of thing. So yeah, I think for someone's entrance, if they wanted to do a complete spooky park, that would work quite nicely. Again, gargoyles everywhere. I think it was this view. Looked pretty cool. Just there. Anyway, that's the spooky entrance plaza, guys. Thought that worked really nice. So what else we got? This was quite a cool Giga, if I can fit it in. Oops. Look at this one. Yes, this Giga was just built and put onto the workshop. Just a bit of fun really. Sorry, I forgot to press test. But come out pretty nice. piece, but it was just a little bit of a kind of let's just build a coaster really, and then ended up going up on the workshop. Mr. Perkins, how are you, sir? What I say, sorry. Full face back with a pigeon then, that looked quite good fun. Yeah, I've been at work, mate. Long old days. I've been having to work. How many days have I worked now? 18 days straight now. So yeah, no lockdown for me. That's to why not much building going on. So yeah, that was a cool little Giga. Well, it's not little, but yeah, cool Giga I did. Actually, what's piece count now? See where we are performance-wise. 17,500. I'm still getting 71 FPS. That's wicked. Cheers, guys. Thank you. That was a nice coaster. I'm just thinking, shall we? What should we do? I think that's a nice coaster. So, if we load my new park build, and let's build the Giga coaster for that. I think that's what we'll do. So let's resume 1, 2, 3. They're the latest ones. 24th, 24th, 24th. So this was last time I built was the 24th. Crikey. Oh, bless you, bud. Yeah. I was at the beginning of the year. I was working at H&M in a warehouse for 6 months, and that was hard work in Milton Keynes, in the UK. And yeah, there's a lot of people there, so I can imagine having that. Yeah, that wouldn't be the best thing in Tesco. But my job, I lease brand new cars. I sell used cars, and I also rent vans. Mainly leasing cars. That's what I do. If anyone follows me on Insta, you'll see all the cars I look after, clean and so forth. So all good fun. Tough job sometimes, trying to please everybody, keep everybody happy, but that's the job. So what shall we decide to do with this beastie? So where are we? Let's see how fast we are. So many cool cars on your Insta. Cheers, Parrot. Yeah, I haven't driven many of them. The big stuff, the expensive stuff, I haven't driven. But the Mercedes, BMWs, and so forth. Yeah, nice cars. Very, very nice cars. I love the Porsche Carrera we have, the black one. That is a beautiful car. So we need to smooth this out. So we do need to smooth this out a tad. That is true, Ryan. That is true. That is true. think it's all, you know, I don't really want to talk about it, to be perfectly honest. I don't mean to be rude there. I do what I can for me and in my bubble, because there's a lot of people out there that don't listen and aren't interested in understanding what the issues are with COVID, and it's hard. We've all had to suffer, bud. Yeah. Anyway, it's not something I really want to entertain, mate. But I understand completely, and I do empathise. Sorry. But yeah. Unfortunately, there's, you know, some of us have lost half income, etc. But there's a lot of people out there that have no income at the minute, and I'm sure they're not in a great boat either, buddy. But we'll all get there one day, once things start to sort themselves out. But again, not something that will continue, if that's okay, mate. So how are we going to do this? So we've got this lovely station. Could we have it whip over here around? Just wondering how it would look. And we could put an arch in for a bridge or something over the top, maybe. And have it as the first block section. Too quick. This coaster is going to be a big coaster. A bit like the one in Thunderland. But I'm just trying to figure out how to make it a bit different to the one in Thunderland. Oh, I love this entrance, Parrot. It looks great, mate. It really does. Still so much more to do to it as well. But at the time I started building that, I was building it on my old setup. So I had to plan how I built, where now it's a little bit different. I can do as I please now, which is great. Yeah, so we got that, so nice. I was going to go that route, Ryan, but I went for the Ryzen 3600 XT, and sole reason being it was what I could afford. I would have loved to have held on for the 5600, but I just the setup I wanted to do now was what I could afford. It was not what I dreamed of, if you know what I mean. So, like graphics card wise, I'm just going to hold out till next year and start thinking of the new AMD 6800s. So for me, it's I think I touched base on my old video. What I do is I sell before I buy. So for instance, I will excuse me, I will sell a graphics card, for instance, and not be able to use my PC. And then, but what I've then done is I got the money in the bank from the PC already to be able to upgrade on a cheaper view. So that's kind of how I do it, or how I have to do it. Sorry. So yeah. So yeah, graphics card next year, after Christmas. Get Christmas out of the way. So we'll just level that off. Straighten that up. Yeah, I had an old AM3 set up previous to this, so it wasn't the best way to try and play the game. How fast is that coming down that hill at this point? There's at 88 miles an hour. Woo! It's a ripper. Yeah, I'm actually doing really well on this at the minute, especially this park. At the minute my computer's telling me I'm getting 56 frames a second, so I think that's a huge improvement over my last one, so I am a very happy man. What am I going to do with this, guys? I'm going to do a massive bank turn, I think. Where are we? Yeah, and like I said, I can't wait to get my GPU changed as well. I think that would be great. I think we need to be going like so. Can we go bigger? Nope. Whoops. That's a bit close, that. Just a bit. Still too close. What's going on here? See you later, Parrot. Have a good evening or day, wherever you are in the world, sir. That is true, Ryan, but I can't do the 4 meter technique. So what I've done is I work my hardest to make it as smooth as possible with the pre-made pieces. I don't think I do a bad job of it. Yeah, I just can't do the 4 meter track. Simple. Can't get used to it. Dog's having a fit by the looks of it. Yeah, I use all sorts of iron. To be fair, what I do is I lay it out with, what am I on at the minute? I am on a 5 metre section, so 5 metre, really? Oh no, it's a tunnel. Where's the length? That was it. So I'm on 12. So what I do is I lay out the general coaster to how I kind of want it, and then what I do is when I go back round and smooth it, I kind of shorten the sections, delete the sections, smooth them out, figure out how I want to do it. Like there, for instance, I may, because that looks shocking, kind of working how I want it to be. So if I take that from there, because this is how I kind of figure it out, this is the way I do mine. So figure it out to the points that I want, and then go the opposite way to where one last smooth in the middle. You tend to find you get the perfect arc and banking once you've set how you want it. But again, everyone to their own. That to me is just a bit too much, so I'll lower that, smooth it off. Gives it a better arch. Bring that around. Let's see. Seat view. Nice and smooth. Yeah, that's what I do. I just do it with the longer sections, right? So I've got to figure out what I want to do with this actually. So I want to switch back. It would, but I think, to be honest with you, that's too steep an angle, Ryan. And I've got other plans for this area here in my head, and I've got to redesign this anyway. So, and I want to kind of put something else in here, so maybe another coaster. So I might have something coming around here. I've got to figure out these path queue lines and path paving. How does that look coming around there? There you go, dude. Marley, sit. Good boy. I don't need attack of the Marley tonight, pretty please. Thank you. Good boy. Good boy. Actually guys, I'm going to call it a night now. I think what I will do is probably be back on tomorrow night, and what we'll do is we'll just continue building this park. I think that's what we'll do. So don't forget to triple save your parks guys, because I lost a load of park on this and it done my absolute nutting. It was the Cascade coaster in the pirate theme, lost 90% of it, so it was not a happy chappy. But no, thank you for watching, for who stayed, appreciated very very much. Hit the sub, hit a like if you don't mind, be very much appreciated. But no, seriously guys, thanks for your time, it's really appreciated. I hope you have a lovely evening, stay safe, and I'll speak to you very very soon. Cheers guys, bye bye.